Hi guys, I'm Walt, I'm talking about comics, and today I will be talking about The Mystery Play by Morrison and Jon J Muth. It's the second episode in my new series in which I explore the lost gems of Vertigo Comics past. Those will be rather unknown miniseries, graphic novels, and so on, which went kind of unnoticed, or like minor works of well-known creators like this one, Grant Morrison. I think most people don't really know about the Mystery Play. It was released, I think, in only one printing, in this non-oversized hardcover edition back in 94. So it's over 20 years old. But I've seen a recent announcement that it will be re-released in an oversized format, paired with another lost gem, Sebastian O, by Morrison and Steve Yoel. I don't really remember Sebastian O. I've read it back in the day. I still have it somewhere, but I was too lazy to get it out of my comic box. So I finally read Mystery Play. And I have to say, I liked it. It's an interesting, intriguing graphic novel, mainly for the art by Jon J Muth. I will show you a little bit of it, why I will talk more about the content. So Jon J Muth is one of those comic painters. This whole painting thing used to be pretty popular back in the late 80s, early 90s, mainly coming from heavy metal and such, Richard Corbin and all those fantasy artists, all those European artists too. But then there was a whole generation of American and British comic artists who used to paint their comics, like Kent Williams, Jon J Muth, this one, Duncan Fegredo, Bill Sienkiewicz. There are a lot more. I haven't wrote them down before the video, but there were like a bunch of them. Scott Hampton and Dave McKean. But this got really, I don't think that there are a lot of them still active, and most of them moved on to different fields, because painting and comics, it's a difficult relationship. There is still Esad Rizic, is it his name? Esad Rizic, who painted Thor with Jason Aaron. But for certain stories like this one, I have to be careful not to spoil. It can be really, really interesting, because it's all about mood. It's not about dynamics. And Jon J Muth does a fantastic job regarding the mood in this one. It's very eerie. It's very surreal in a way. You can't tell if it's real or imagined. Pretty graphic, but really mainly, I don't know if you can see this top panel here, mainly trying to express what the character is feeling, and how he perceives the world through the artistic expression or the artistic style of his paintings. So this is pretty successful. Regarding the story, if you don't know nothing about mystery plays, I'm not an expert. What I know is they used to be very popular in the Middle Ages, I think. But the earliest ones were already popular with in early Egypt, prehistoric Egypt, and Greece, and I know a little bit about early theater, and that there was kind of a split from what then was Mystery Play. Mystery Play is basically the reenactment of stories from religious texts, and this used to be those used to be like rituals, which then slowly but surely evolved into an own art form, which later became theater. And so there is this thing still there in mystery plays and in theater itself, that there is a core which harks back to this religious, ritualistic side of things. And there is even, like in cinema, there are a lot of theories about how when you're watching a film or a movie and you see those stories, they all hark back to a deeper psychological state of mind, which is very much connected to those very, very early rituals. So this is why we are so touched or transcended sometimes through watching those films. So this was a little excursus into mystery play and theater, and it's an important one because this is what the whole thing here is about. It starts with a mystery play, and then it becomes it's like a little word play becoming a story. Then it becomes a murder mystery. Someone has been murdered, and our detective wants to find out who did it. And so there are a lot of characters. He's questioning them and trying to find out who could have been the murderer. But it's not like really he really wants to find out. It's more like he wants to exchange philosophical ideas with them. So they're more like stand-ins for Grant Morrison to explore some ontological questions about existence and about the perception of the world. You can see that he read some Nietzsche while he was, or shortly before he was writing the story. So you can see his influences they're painted with a very broad stroke, which is not a bad thing. If you're looking for real characters in a real world, this is not a story for you. This is really more of a meta story set in a realistic yet non-realistic world. Like, how could I put it? It's like a shadow play, you know. So there is something which is very real about it. Those are humans, and they're acting like humans, and there is kind of a reveal towards the end. But it's more about getting into a mood and starting to think about questions of guilt, of world perception, of God, and how valid he still is in this world. So did I like it? Did I enjoy it? I did, and I think you could too, if you have the right expectations. So I will maybe repeat myself here. This is not a normal murder mystery. This is not a super thrilling or super entertaining story. It's more like a novella, which, and this is where I felt it didn't really deliver, which is a bit too short. You can feel that it has a certain pace, and then it's in its last third or fourth chapter, it's kind of rushing towards the end, and I think something gets lost there. You can see that there is some flesh missing, and the ending is kind of a Deus Ex Machina. I didn't worry too much about it because I didn't think that there will be like the very interesting resolution to it. But it's kind of sad, because when you see those pages, there is such a big investment, especially with painting. I feel like this took even longer than drawing. Probably it's not even true, but it has such a high values that you think, well, if they did already 80 pages, they should have gone to 100 or 120 or whatever would have been needed to give the story a certain gravitas and weight. Well, having said that, it's an interesting book. It's not Grant Morrison's strongest effort, but it's something very different. If you're into religious themes, if you like more moody and painted stories, and are looking for, let's say, an inspirational, philosophical excursus, this is very nice. And you will be able to buy it in an oversized edition soon. Yeah, well, that was it. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to all the people who bought stuff from my eBay sale. I met a few people who knew me from the channel and then went and bought stuff and then visited me, and it was really nice meeting you guys. Yeah, I will be back with a third episode very soon. I already finished the book. And until then, I hope you have a nice weekend. Bye bye.